Here is a tutorial on how to start and complete assignment number 2, your crossword puzzle in Excel. So what we're going to do is I went ahead and clicked on this PC, and I'm going to find the drive with my name. When you're in here, everything for this module will be saved in Spreadsheets 1 folder. So I'm going to click that. And you're going to go ahead and right click and go down to New to create a new Microsoft Excel worksheet. This worksheet you're going to title Assignment Number 2 Crossword Puzzle. And once you've typed that in, just go ahead and press Enter. I'm going to open up my Excel worksheet. And the first thing I want us to do to make sure it's all going to print to one page is that we select down here Page Layout. Okay. Then the next thing for this assignment is you have to find a crossword puzzle that you want to recreate. So I've gone ahead and attached one to Google Classroom that you guys can use, but you're more than welcome to go ahead and find a different crossword. It's going to be annoying if I have to keep going back and forth between these two different windows. So a way that you can work on your computer if you only have one monitor but you want to have two screens open at the same time is the following. So if I place my cursor over top of this icon right here, it's going to say Restore Down, and we have to click on Restore Down. So what that does is it minimizes that window to be slightly smaller. I'm just going to left click and hold, and I'm going to drag it all the way over to the right side of my screen. And if you can see up here, it's created a faint outline at the very top of where that window is going to be placed. So once I have that selected, then I just unclick left, and it's moved everything over to the right. Since I want to do my assignment in Excel, I'm going to click that as my other window I would like open. And now I have a split screen with my two different windows, so it's easy for me to recreate the crossword I've selected. So we're already working in our page layout view. The next thing you're going to want to do is we're going to resize all of our cells to 25 to 30 pixels or whatever desired size you need for your 15-word crossword. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my shortcut on my control on my keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead and hold down the control button and then press the letter A, and it's going to select all of my cells for me. When I do that, it makes it a lot easier to resize all of my cells at once. So I've placed my cursor in between column A and column B, and I'm just going to left click. Currently, my pixel size is 84 pixels, and I am going to set that to something slightly smaller so I know it'll at least print to one page. And let's say I want to do 30 pixels. So now I've gone ahead and resized all of my pixels, so that's perfect. The next thing we're going to do is we have to make sure that our assignment contains a title and a border, and then I will show you all the other features that you will be creating. So the ways we can create a title in here is we could left click and drag on the cells that we want to merge together. So we go up to our merge and center icon and simply type in whatever you want your title to be. So that's one way that we could create a title. The other way is to go ahead and insert a shape. So if we went to Insert and we find our shape icon, and I might just go ahead and maximize the window so I can see, go to Shapes, find a rectangle, left click, drag over the area you want your title to be. And then you have a whole bunch of different editing options. Because it is a shape, the Format tab will pop up. You have Shape Fill. You can play around with all the different colors as well as the other features like gradient and texture. You can also play around with shape effects. So these are options that are not available to you when you simply merge and center your cells. Now, if you want to do any writing on this shape, you have to insert a text box. So we go down here and we click on text, and right away we bring it over. This is what your cursor will look like. So you left click and hold. So slightly different than Word. And I'll center it, and then I can type directly what I want on my text box. So that's another way that you can go ahead and create a title. So I'm just going to resize, sorry, my pixels are sized, I'm going to go ahead and use just the merge and center option. The next thing we want to show you guys is how to recreate the numbers that tell you for your crossword if the word is going down or if it's going across. So we are going to just click on the cell where we want our first number to appear. And I'm going to go ahead and type in the number 1. After you've typed in the number, for whatever reason, you want to just left click on any other cell and then come back to that cell before formatting it. Sometimes it doesn't let you format that cell right away if you just type in your number and then do what we're doing. So make sure you type in your information, left click on any other cell and come back to it. In the cell we want to edit, we are going to right click and go down to Format Cells. Once we're in Format Cells, we're going to go to Font and we're going to select Superscript. You can also go ahead and select a smaller font if you'd like. So I'll go ahead and maybe select 8 and then press OK. So it's gone ahead and reformatted my cell for Superscript. As you can see though here in my crossword, the number 1 is aligned to the left. So with your cell already selected, all you have to do that is click Align Left and it'll move that cell over for me. If you're using a crossword and you want to type in the letter as well, so let's say for 2 down, the first letter for that clue is the letter D. If I'm wanting to just apply in my formatting my cell subscript in a smaller font to the number 2, then you have to highlight and select it. You then right click, go to Format Cells, Superscript, and select the same font size. And it would look like this. And let's say the word was drive. So I'm going ahead and in every cell I'm writing each individual letter. If I want this to align up, as you can see, you just want to place your cursor over top and hit space so it will align. If I have this cell selected and I go and I hit center, it doesn't quite line up because the sizing and the spacing is different. So just place your cursor in front and hit space. So that's what I would do if I was making a key, which for some of you may be. In order to recreate the black filled in boxes here, I'm just going to select the cell and go up to Font or Fill Color and select black. Perfect. The next thing I might want to do is when you are writing all of your clues, so right here it has the clues placed to the right of the crossword, and we're going to make sure we have enough room. So I'm just going to go ahead and maximize my screen. And when I go to page layout, we're going to see if we are we're currently working in portrait. So I might want to switch this to landscape. So that way it gives me a lot more room. So I'm going to go ahead and take maybe half of this space and merge my cells, merge and center, and type in the word across. And then for the other half, merge and center, I'm going to type down. Now, if you were wanting to write the exact same way in here, how this writing goes from top to bottom, and you merge and center your cells, it doesn't let us do that right away in Excel. So I could select this whole zone as what I want to type in. And I went merge and center. And now I'm going to start writing my clues. It pops up down there. So I can't seem to get it to go higher. So that's not going to be super effective, but I like how it got rid of all the spacing and everything for me. I like that, let's see. And I'm going to merge this other cell because I seem to have missed it. What we want to do in order for our writing to start at the top and use the space effectively is we're going to insert a text box. So you can go to Insert and you're going to go to Text Box, draw a text box, left click and drag over top, and you can place your writing just in there. In order to get rid of that perimeter, make sure you have your text box selected. The format option pops up. Go to format and select on shape outline and click no outline. And then that will print off for you. So just make sure we've covered everything. So we now know how to insert the numbers. Make sure you write it first to format your cells. We've resized all of our cells to 25 to 30 pixels. How to insert a title. The last thing we need to do once we have all of this recreated is we're going to create a border around the entire crossword. So when we are creating our border, we can left click on the far cell. I just clicked on the far right, and I'm going to go up to bottom borders and go to more borders. When I click more borders, I'm going to select the outline, and you can see how it created an outline on this screen. Whereas if I had inside selected, it'll do the inside and every wall of every cell. So I'm just going to click outline. That's all I want. Perfect. And then you also have the option to select if you want a different weight of line. You can do a different color. Once I have this selected, if you can do this two ways. You can select that you want the top in blue and then that you want the far right in blue. You can do it that way by clicking on the icon and the illustration, or you can actually just left click right on this box right here and it'll highlight the entire outline that you're wanting, and then go ahead and press OK. So once I've done that, now I can see that I also have an outline for my crossword. So those are all the components you need to include or need to know for how to recreate assignment number 2.